what is happening now in the Middle East is something we have discussed with those leaders. I have really discussed with those leaders. All of them, they are all our friends. The Israelis are our friends. The Iranians are our friends. The UAE are our friends. The Qataris are our friends. The Saudis, the Americans. And when there was fighting last year, I put out, you know, I am chairman of the non-aligned movement. Up to now, I am still chairman. But when the fighting started last year, I first kept quiet. I didn't want. But after some time, I issued a statement. My staff can get that statement and give it to the people who are here, where I really externalized what we have been talking quietly with all these people. You will read it. But the whole problem starts with what we call in English chauvinism. Chauvinism. Buli omu okulowooza nti yeyeka. Everybody thinks he's the one who is most important. So that's why we have got that huge problem. You can see now the destruction, the dangers. I discussed with the Iranians, with all of them, the leaders, Ahmadinejad, Raisi, the one who was here, all of them, Hashemi Rafsanjani. I was saying, you people, the Iranians, why don't you recognize Israel? They said Israel does not belong here. It is not, it is a transplant in the Middle East. I said, no. Me, I know this part of the world from the Bible. You are all mentioned in the Bible. The Jews are mentioned, the Persians are mentioned. There's another group called Medians. The Philistines, Palestinians are mentioned. Goliath was a Palestinian. Why don't you? So I told them, you should accept Israel, so that we implement the two-state solution. Then I go to Netanyahu, who is a good friend of mine. He has come here many times. We're in this house here with him and the president of Sudan. General Burhan. We were here. We had a meeting here. I said, why don't you recognize Palestine? Why? The two-state solution. Because if, of course, for them they say, initially the Palestinians, the Arabs did not accept the two-state solution. It is true that in one of the conferences, Khartoum conference, the Arabs had said, no recognition, no what, that line. But since that time, They have accepted. You Israel, why don't you implement this? They can't. You don't know why. They say, oh, this one, they say this, but you can see they are very reluctant to accept the two-state solution. Then our friend the Americans, the use of force in this area, In that statement, I gave the history of all these mistakes. So therefore, I want to congratulate you Ugandans, because when we told you, please avoid sectarianism, reject sectarianism, love all Ugandans, irrespective of their differences. You listened. I want to thank you. That's why, ever since 1994, ever since 1980, when we started elections, the NRM was always winning on the first round. We have never gone for the second round. Why? Because you all agreed that the message of unity was better than the other message of sectarianism. So when you see the suffering in the Middle East, you can see the consequences of that area is very rich, very rich. But you can see the politics disturb the whole area. So I want to congratulate you, Ugandans, for in the 1964, rejecting sectarianism. They were laughing at us, the old politicians. They were saying, you young boys, you don't know reality. Reality is that blood is thicker than water, meaning that tribalism is more important than anything else. And I remember telling them that you people, me, I'm a cattle keeper. I produce milk, I produce beef, I produce bananas. Buli angulako musanyukira. Sisobola kugamba nti abanyankole bokka be bangulako. Ab'e Kampala bwe bagula amata gange baba banyambye. Bwe bagula amatooke baba banyambye. Bwe bagula ennyama baba banyambye. So I value Uganda. I value East Africa. I value Africa because they are the ones who support my prosperity. When you come to Victoria and you find I have built a good house, it is not because of my tribe. It is because of Uganda, of East Africa, of Africa. Because they are the ones who buy my milk, buy my beef, buy my bananas. So, dividing people is really short-sighted. It's even against your own interest. I want to discuss with the Western countries. If you're a smart person, especially if you are a smart businessman, why would you want to trade with a poor man? A poor man anakuyamba ki? Why don't you want people to have income, to have money, to have wealth in the whole world, global affluence. Because if you get global affluence, they will buy more from you. How much will they buy from you? So I would want to really to get time and discuss with all these people the issue of global affluence, which will benefit everybody. When China modernized, mumpada kazindaro yamwe, you are the ones who gave me the kazindaro ne kanyanguye kubanga ifturu is about to come now. When China modernized, in 1986 I was trying to build a steel industry here. But I was told, I said, no, steel has no market in the world. And indeed, at that time, a ton of steel was $200. But when China started modernizing and building modern infrastructure in steel, price of steel was $200. So the prosperity of China benefited me here. The price of copper went up, the price of all those products. So therefore, I would like to use this Ramadan to call upon people in the world to work for justice everywhere. And global affluence. Mwebale nnyo Katonda babere.